I don't. Did you? I don't know. Like, she's out there. You're the Florida version of Sex in the City, JB.
That's when I'm smoking my cigars.
Don't be an asshole today.
Hello.
Hey, you.
Hey.
How do you make eggnog more Christmassy? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. I can't
We're going
wait.
to find out.
We never know what Tyler has up his sleeve, right?
But we do know that he's famous now.
Yes, he is. The Men's Journal. Wow.
Quoted in the Men's Journal.
Quoted in the Men's Journal. They wanted to know his opinion, his take on, it was bitters, right? The article was
hibiscus bitters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he gave
amazing.
a good decision.
Amazing stuff. Oh, yeah.
All right, really quick. Here's the folks, but we'll have.
Yay! Hello,
Backwards.
guys.
Backwards. He's giving you the backwards one.
We have a live audience in the studio today.
We kind of do. That's rare. Yeah, usually it's just cats. That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, my mommy's gonna stay up just to meet Tyler.
She's one of his biggest fans, if not the biggest fan.
And I think we are.
Yes.
Yeah,
and now he's famous. We're so lucky to have him in so many ways.
Yeah, we had him first. I'm just gonna put that out there. We had him first.
That's right.
You know, he's ours, and he's always gonna be ours.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've got him. We've got him captive. He's our captive mixologist.
Yeah, we can actually say that our mixologist is famous. Our house mixologist now.
Yes.
We're gonna use that. We're gonna use that tagline on the website, right?
Oh, you know it. You know it.
No, I know how you put a spin. I know how you can put a spin.
And
all right.
We're doing great with the Rainbow Remix rebrand.
Feels right, doesn't it?
It really does. Like it should have been that all along, and people are loving it
all along. Yeah. Normally, I'm a nervous wreck about any kind of change, but this one just felt needed and
yes
and right. So it felt like work. Like there was a lot of socials that had to get changed, and website restructuring and all that kind of stuff. But
right.
So worth it. So worth it. Big time.
Oh yeah. I think I was freaking you out a little bit in the begining with everything I kept sending you. The new song, the new picture, the new name.
Yeah, it was like, I do like one thing and then I make all these changes. And then you're like, hey, you want to change the song? Hey, what do you think of this? Hey, I did some staging. Hey, I'm like, oh my God, she's on fire.
By the time I got to work or wherever I was going, you did all the social media stuff. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah. I was on it hard. Like, I don't like to let that stuff wait because, it's like we've committed to this idea. Now we just got to go full force.
I see that. I see that.
Yeah. Speaking of man of the hour, here he is in the green room. Let's let him in. Our man, Tyler.
Hello.
Hey.
There we go. Now I can hear you.
There you go.
Yes.
Hello. How are you, Arlene? Cheers to you.
I had her on a little red stag on the cherry bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
Last night we did a whole gin tasting, which then went into a whiskey tasting.
Yeah.
which then everybody had a very cool buzz going. What was your favorite gin? We were doing a Whitney Neal sampler.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like the blueberry the best, or did you like the quince the best? The quince.
Ooh,
Quince gin with. Oh. Did we have it with the lemon bitters? I thought I just drank it straight up. You liked it just straight, but I think we were using Schweppes bitter lemon tonic,
Mm-hmm.
which is
nice.
Yeah, it's nice because it is bitter, but there's enough sweetness that you don't go, when you taste it. So with the blueberry, it was fantastic.
Oh,
The
that sounds
blueberry
good.
was so good. And but we had rhubarb and ginger, Parma violet,
Ooh.
the orange. I swear to God,
Yep.
every flavor you could think of, it was insane. The quince, the raspberry, the pink grapefruit. Yeah, we were on it. And then the only thing she can't have is the peanut butter because she had a reaction to the screwball.
Ooh.
She got the throat
Oh,
closing up.
wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, and she's had peanut butter before. She's lived on peanut butter before during hurricane season.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't want to risk anything with the sheepdog for her to be able to compare.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we put her on the red stag today, so she had a little bit of that.
Oh, good.
So you had a sampler night.
We had a sampler. We actually had a
It was a
tasting.
buffet.
We had a true gin tasting. I think that was
Nice.
yeah. So that was great. Get them smashed and send them to bed. That's my
Hey.
Isn't that what they call flight? Is that a flight?
Yeah.
When you have all the little shots in a row, don't they call that a flight?
Isn't it with beer? That's with beer, isn't it?
I don't know. I wasn't
You can
sure.
do a liquor flight.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what we did.
Yeah.
It
At
was
that
so
point,
good.
that's yeah. It was an intercontinental flight, but it was a flight.
Yeah, it was huge. It was huge. Yeah, the last time she was here, I was working at the pub still, and my mate made her Whitney Neal blood orange gin and tonic, and she loved it. So I think did we send you home with a bottle?
Probably.
I think Hazel found it. So we sent her home with a bottle of that, but we were on to something with the Whitney Neals, and I found, online, I found this whole taster set that was just all these tiny little bottles, and it was, they're nice flavors. There's nothing horrible. We didn't even try the plain, did we? We didn't even try the original. We're like, nah, we're just gonna go with the flavor. And
That's with it.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it was fun. It was really cool.
That's great.
JD and I were just talking about how famous you are now and how we claim you as ours because
yes.
our
Yeah.
health mixologist is in the Men's Journal, and we're
Yes.
like,
No, thank you.
We were like, we had him first. We had him
Yes.
first.
Yes, you lay first claim and you're allowed to have it. So
that's it. That's what I want to hear. That's the level of commitment I'm looking for. That's it right there. Yeah, we were just saying that, like, no matter where you go, no matter what place you end up at, no matter how big you get,
still right here.
all
We
started
women are
here.
very possessive that way. We tend to be that way. You're ours. Ours.
We just stereotyped ourselves.
Yep.
We're gonna start stalking you when if you wherever other things are that you're doing. He's
Yeah.
You
ours.
already climb all over your social media.
Yeah, absolutely. Just come through the bar. We can hang out. We can try all of these things and more.
Wouldn't that be great?
I passed your old the artillery, didn't
Oh,
you
yes.
work there, your old haunt?
That was
on.
artillery was the first service industry spot that ever gave me a chance to work there, period. And I
Wow.
cocktail served for them on a couple busy Fridays.
I didn't
And
know that.
realized that I wanted to keep doing this. Which
Oh,
Really?
from their standpoint, they were like, "Oh, free labor on a Friday? Absolutely. We don't care what you
and they're not
Well,
turning that down.
Pardon the pun, but while we were on a ghost tour, I passed your old haunt.
Oh.
That's so bad. So
Did
bad.
you really go on a ghost tour in Savannah?
I did. We did. Yes.
That's
And they let
great.
you go this one took you into a haunted house. You get off the trolley. This was one in a trolley. Did you ever go, Tyler? You weren't
No.
into that stuff, right?
No, yeah, I know just enough not about it that I don't want to get anywhere near it.
I'm with him. I don't want to pay I never want to pay to be creeped out.
I try not to get creeped out usually, so to just let somebody creep me out is not on my high list, but I love that people enjoy it.
That's how I feel about haunted houses on Halloween and how I feel about horror movies and
Mhm.
Yeah, I want to pay to feel that way. I can feel that way for free. Walking
They
through the
had,
grocery
this was
store.
complete with the creepy nursery with the dolls and
Ugh.
We were just talking about that. We were watching some show where they restored this hideous doll that was in somebody's attic, and it was like an antique, and it was busted, and it was like so awful looking that I couldn't even like turn that off. But they restored it to its natural beauty.
oh.
It was still ugly.
Oh.
Wow. So we were discussing before you came, not your level of fame and all that, but we were wondering how you could make an eggnog more Christmassy.
Okay. Well,
Okay. He's like,
Show
challenge
us.
accepted.
first off, that's exactly what I have here.
Is that Mama's Santa
So-
milk?
No, this is my eggnog that I've been working on
Oh.
for a couple weeks now. So,
Okay.
if you want to make it extra Christmassy, first off, throw some gin in. Get a little bit of that. Get a little bit of that juniper. Yep. Get a little bit of that juniper flavor
My
in.
mother was just looking at her iPad and she went, throw some gin in.
I did not do that with this one,
Okay.
just because I wanted to do something very kind of classical, very like historical, traditional. But throw some gin in, add a little bit of those juniper notes, and then what I like to do anytime you want to make something Christmassy, rosemary is the garnish. Get some fresh rosemary, snip it. Yep, just give it a little smack to open up all those flavors, and then just lay that across. It's going to have that nice kind of Christmas tree aroma to everything that you do, and it's literally the cheapest Christmas trick you can do. Anything. You want a Christmas margarita? Boom, rosemary.
It looks like an evergreen. Yeah, it looks like a piece of Christmas tree. So you're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
And it has that nice kind of almost piney aroma to it when you just espresso it slightly. So
Nice.
that would be
Hey, wow.
perfect. Yes.
Wow.
And that
I
was
would
just
never have guessed rosemary. I would
Or
have thought
gin.
like maybe
Or gin.
peppermint or something, or gin. Yeah.
Yeah, peppermint.
again-
Everything
Ooh.
peppermint for Christmas. Exactly.
but that'll keep it really traditional to the general eggnog flavor, and just add a little bit of those couple kind of sharp notes that you would be looking for if you wanted to make something a little bit more right at that Christmas time.
What is it in eggnog that gives it that bubblegummy sweet?
It depends on how it's made, but a proper eggnog is going to actually have eggs, and it's going to actually have cream, and it's going to actually have milk. And then you are curing that. So it does need to sit for a little while.
You're not drinking
And
rye.
during that process, you can get some interesting flavors through there that are really pleasant, but I don't know what particularly is the bubble gum part of it.
Is
But
that
it does.
sweet?
Like that's what I'm drinking right now. And as soon as you said, I'm like, oh yeah, that is in there.
Okay.
Now I like to throw sherry in mine because that's kind of very traditional. Just a
Uh-huh.
little bit of sherry into the big
Okay.
mix. So I'm also getting that kind of like, oxidized nutty flavor that you get from sherry all the way through it, which I think just adds some depth and complexity. And it fits to a lot of the quote traditional recipes. So
I would think over here they would use go right to the sherry over here. You know,
probably have a cream sherry. or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
yeah, but definitely. That's
I
interesting.
thought rum went in eggnog.
So
Gin
it does.
is the twist. Oh, okay.
So-
I'm
so this
getting
is-
ahead. Okay.
Yeah, no, this is where we get into what I think the fun of eggnog is. Eggnog really is kind of, and I know there's some tradition before then, but really it's a new world punch. So when you think of punches and you think of traditional punch where you've got, citrus and tea and sugar and rum or, sugarcane distillate and a little bit of spices, you bring all that in, that traditional punch.
Yeah.
What you get into with eggnog is it's kind of that winter punch. So you have to think a lot of this. So the recipe I'm basing it off of right now is supposedly a George Washington recipe. So we're talking 1700s vintage. Now, was it George Washington or was it somebody else? Who knows? But the story is that it was what George Washington made for his parties. And what you get into is times before refrigeration and
Right.
as it got winter, animals stopped producing. So your chickens didn't lay as many eggs, your cows didn't produce as much
Oh.
milk, all of that. And you don't have refrigeration, so you don't really have a way to keep those things. So just
Right.
like they would rather drink beer or wine or rum when they were on the seas because it was clean, because the alcohol naturally kind of preserves and kills bacteria, you would make an
Mhm.
eggnog in the fall and you would keep it through the whole winter. And it allowed you to save a lot of the dietary properties of that dairy that you had and preserved.
Oh, wow.
So it really holds kind of a kind of refrigeration or food preservation nature to it. So it definitely was something you would drink throughout the winter. It's hearty, it's got a lot of calories, it's got a lot of things that you couldn't get during the winter. So it really does kind of round out the diet. Now,
And
in order to-
it was.
yeah, and in order to preserve those things,
Warms
you
you
need
from
quite
the-
a bit of
So,
alcohol in them. You needed to
it
hit
was
about 20 to
purposeful.
25%. Yes. So as most old world alcohol, they had a very good whether it was legit or just justified
Right.
explanation for why they were drinking.
Right.
Legit. It's
So-
legit. I'm going
Yes.
with that. Yeah.
So taking that in, whenever I get into punch or any sort of like convivial drinking, I like to take recipes, and then I think it's a beautiful time to use that last little bit of what you have. Kind of in that same way that they would use it to preserve dairy and everything, I like to use it to consume those last, every single bottle that has a couple ounces here, a couple ounces there. Usually one take.
Oh,
Like
So-
a jungle juice eggnog.
Yeah.
yeah.
and that's exactly what I did. So the recipe that I like to follow calls for whiskey, it calls for brandy, it calls for rum, it calls for sherry. So just kind of going through, I used the last of my George Dickel rye that we've used on
Wow.
this podcast. Used
So
the
that
last
was
of this.
good.
Yes, used the last of the Sazerac rye that I've used.
Okay.
Threw in a good little bit of the old Jameson Caskmates. Then we went ahead. This is the Havana Club rum that I got from Scotland. So that is a Cuban rum. So you are not able to get it very easily here in the States. So that's fun. And then just some cheap brandy I had for a different punch at another time. So just some Christian Brothers, just kind of rounds it out. And basically I went through and I did 4 ounces of the rye total. I did 4 ounces of the Jameson, 4 ounces of the Havana Club, 4 ounces of the Christian Brothers. And then I did 2 ounces of, let me see if I can get it. It's not going to want to settle, but this is just,
Sherry.
yep, wisdom and water sherry. And I like the Amontillado. So you could use a cream sherry, you could use a Fino sherry. Those are going to have a little bit more sweetness to them, but the Amontillado is going to have that nice, really oxidated nuttiness that's going to be able to punch through really the depth of the dairy. I think that some of the other sherries add a nice roundness and a little bit of sweetness, but this is something that like you taste it and it punches through and it's really nice. So throw all of that together. Then you throw in I like to use brown sugar in this. Again, thinking back where they wouldn't have necessarily wanted to pay to refine it. So I like to use brown sugar. It ties into kind of everything. So I used about a 1/4 cup of brown sugar with all of that. And then 6 whole eggs. So just crack them right in. With the dairy, it's a little easier to do the eggs, the cream, and the milk. So 2 cups of milk, 2 cups of cream, and the eggs all together with the sugar. Get that pre-mix. So it is going to, quote, curdle because it is going to cure. But if you pre-mix everything, when it curdles, it doesn't necessarily come out of solution. You don't get the little film on top.
Okay.
So you pre-mix all of that, and then you start rolling that in with your alcohol mix. So you end up with about 3 quarts for this recipe. Yeah, so you get a lot. It's definitely a convive drink. Definitely something to drink with other people, but it lasts. And so this one's been sitting for about 2 weeks. So
in your fridge or not?
In my fridge.
Okay.
So you can do it in your fridge. You could also technically age it at cellar temp. I'm not going to suggest you do that because I'm not an expert on these things. But if you rest it at cellar temp, you should leave it like a month or 2 and then check it. But there's actually been studies by universities that check their eggnog, and it truly does absolutely sterilize it. So if you get the alcohol content high enough, again, you want it about above 20% alcohol. After 3 weeks, any amount of salmonella or anything that would be in there is completely killed. So it truly does sterilize. And once it sterilizes, it's good to keep. So there's aged eggnog that's 1-2 years aged. and still tastes fine. It does develop, interestingly as it goes. Your flavors kind of deepen and get interesting. I've never aged it more than 2 months, but at 2 months it has, you can't really tell the difference in flavors. It's just its own kind of unique drink that's very, very cool.
Awesome.
So I just did all of that, let it sit for 2 weeks in the fridge. I've got it in a couple different bottles now, but and I'm actually about to finish my cup. So serving is very important when you're serving eggnog.
That's true.
Yeah.
This is a punch style drink, so I argue that you should never measure it. Once it's made, you pour how much you want.
That's
So again,
right.
just kind of like pre-bottled here.
Oh,
I'm just gonna
look at
fill up
that.
my glass to about
I
what
gotta
I'm
show my
comfortable
mom this.
with.
Hold on.
Look at that. Wow.
Lovely. Yes.
And then the garnish is everything. So I'm gonna try to see if I can get a nice little angle on it. And I don't know that I will,
I don't know if I have
but
either.
it is. People say that you don't need to use fresh nutmeg. They lie. You have to use fresh nutmeg. It changes the entire experience.
Yeah, you got
And you just grate some fresh nutmeg over that. You want to get it really nice and on top of everything. And that is your most traditional. I like to spice it up and just use a little bit of chili powder as well.
Ooh,
What?
ooh, that's a
So just a
surprise.
little bit of chili powder. Again, not necessarily cayenne or anything. I don't want anything too spicy. It tastes good, but it's just very different.
Wow.
Just that nutmeg and chili powder. Then you just kind of turn the glass a little bit. And if you use the proper amounts, you get really cool art. I didn't use the proper amount, so I don't think I'm going to get cool art, but that's it. And again, when you make this, you get about 3 quarts of it. So invite some friends over, give them little cups, and just
Nice.
I did not see the chili powder coming. That was a surprise.
I like it because it's red and it's Christmassy.
yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
See,
Wow.
there's your answer. How do you make it even more Christmassy?
There it is. Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Man,
put cinnamon in my eggnog. I
That's
put,
another good one.
Yeah,
I can see
cinnamon
that.
and rum.
Yep.
I didn't, I love how you take all of these flavors. Like, did you think about, I'm sure you probably gave it thought as to how they were all going to mix together
Yes.
in the eggnog.
So that's one of the fun things. This will probably, when you get into punches, that's probably one of the few times I don't spend as much time thinking about it, because it's all going to taste different no matter what you do. And
Yes.
that's, for me, is the fun of punches. Punches really are what got me into drinking with people and really wanting to make drinks. Is you make a punch to be shared. You're not
Yeah.
worried about it being every time repeatable. You're not worried about it every single time being the exact same thing. You make a punch to share with your friends, to share with people coming over, to host a party, to do all of these things. And it's okay to be a little hot and loose with a punch. You can just throw some stuff into a punch bowl and then balance it to go. I mean, it is one of those where, especially when you start working in large format that's meant to be consumed in one sitting,
Yeah. Yeah.
mess with it a little bit.
Yeah.
Throw some other stuff in there.
I feel
Throw
like
an extra egg in and see what happens.
It's probably how they discovered a Long Island iced tea, isn't it? Like just
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Go until it mixes. And again, with punches, with how big of a format you're in, and the fact that generally when you're making a punch of any sort, you're expecting 20, 30 servings. If you're off a little bit in one direction or another, it's not a big deal to throw another couple ounces of something in.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yes.
I would love to have a party, and have an eggnog as a punch, because it does kind of like knock you for six, because you're expecting some kind of cranberry 7-Up,
All right.
Exactly.
cranberries floating on top and a lovely fruity ice ring. Yeah, so that would just like really, people would walk in and be completely blown away by an eggnog punch. That'd be perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, when I think about what I want to make for the holidays and everything, and through these like kind of winter times and all that, it's also super American. They're just, eggnog has just been part of America's history, just like rum has been.
Yeah.
All the way that there was the eggnog war at West Point at one point, where too many of the West Point cadets got a hold of some eggnog and threw a massive rager that's like Animal House style, but we're talking back in the 1800s, and they all like almost got expelled, but it was all of them. So they didn't expel them and they just kind of wash it under. But they were firing cannons and playing all the instruments, and you know, they locked up all of their they locked up the soldiers who were supposed to take control of them. They locked them up in one of the rooms and kept partying.
Oh my God.
Oh, it is. If you get the chance, look up the Eggnog War. It is a hilarious. It was on Christmas Eve.
That's too funny.
But it is a fantastic story.
Jesus. I think right now is the absolute perfect weather for, making this and sticking it outside. Cause like it was 28 degrees last night. It's like a high of 32. And it's just, like my shed is like another fridge right now. I've got cheese truckles and sodas and everything in there.
Oh, right.
So it's just I told you before, we have little college refrigerators here in England. It's not going to cut it over the holidays. So this is perfect. Just to chuck it outside and let it do its thing.
Absolutely. And that's a lot of times I'll say cellar temp and things like that, especially when it comes to winter storage. I mean, that's cold. That's refrigerator temperature.
Same thing.
So I mean, you could keep it outside and age it, all of those things if you wanted to really go for it. But again, if you're going to do anything like that, highly suggest a month or more, and really to be very careful and take it in small doses. But in the fridge, this, like I said, 2 weeks, it's good. 3 weeks is the threshold where they say there's no detectable anything in it. But you take risks when you eat a raw dairy.
Who doesn't love it, such a salmonella over the holidays?
Yeah.
Come on.
Is it cold there right now in Memphis?
It's bouncing between about 40 and 50. So
I'm jealous.
That's perfect. Yeah, you can't go
It
wrong
happened
with
to
that.
be warm in Savannah this past weekend.
Oh,
I know. I was so disappointed. I never got to wear my gloves or my scarf or my hat. None of it.
That's like one of your only chances too.
I know.
Exactly. I know.
Now I have to think about someplace else to go while it's still cold out, but it won't be Christmas time, but you can't have everything.
Yeah. I know my poor wife is sitting in 93 degrees in Australia.
Really?
Yeah, sweating like crazy. Yeah, she said it's gross hot heat. So
she grew up like with Christmas being warm. Warm, like they don't relate Christmas to snow and snowmen and stuff like that.
Right.
So interesting.
Wild.
Yeah.
And so like imagine it being like 48, 50 degrees in July. That's their winter, that's
right.
We could never associate July with cold,
That's
no matter where you live.
No matter where, right?
Yeah. So
that's
they're
crazy.
completely flip-flopped,
So will you be serving the eggnog in your clubs that you work at, the bars that you work at in Memphis?
We're working on our holiday kind of like winter menu right now. This was kind of my trial run because I hadn't made one since last year. And I think that with some of the market sampling that I've done and getting a diverse group of input on this one, I think we're going to make some and start aging it and have it ready for like end of July, which I think will be very cool to have that kind of during that time.
It just really signifies the holidays, doesn't it? Like the best part about working in the pub over the holidays was we had one of those big soup warmers, and we had spiced cider.
Yes.
We would be slicing oranges and they'd throwing that in there with the cranberries and the cinnamon sticks and all that stuff, and it was already like high alcohol volume, and then you're heating it up with all the fruit and everything, but the smell would just when I would open that door and walk in at 4 o'clock, and it would be sitting there since noon, and it was just the most amazing smell. Yeah. By the way, you guys, I did get mulled wine.
I was
gonna have mulled wine.
just going to ask you, is that what they call mulled cider? That's what they call mulled cider.
Yeah. But I did specifically get a bottle of mulling wine, And
Yes.
we're gonna put that on the stove on Christmas Eve and
Oh, nice.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, it's a tradition over here, but then throw in a baked ziti and some garlic bread.
Right.
Yeah.
Italian
We
American on
Italians.
that holiday.
Gotta get the pasta. It's
It
not
is.
a holiday
It is.
without some kind of pasta or
Bring in all the best.
Yeah, yeah.
So is Emily gonna be home? You'll be together for the
Yes.
holiday?
Yeah. So we'll be together for Christmas. This release is Sunday, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Just checking. So we're going up to
Working hard,
Michigan.
man,
I got it.
working
Yeah.
hard.
Well, I just want to make sure. I couldn't imagine it being tomorrow, but I have very, very high praise for you, Denise. Okay, so we're actually surprising my grandparents up in Michigan. So we're flying out tomorrow morning,
Oh,
and we'll get picked
cute.
up by my parents who are up there. And we're going to
Aw.
surprise them. They have no idea we're coming. They don't expect it at all. So yeah, so we're gonna go see them and just pop in on Christmas and say hey to them and the rest of my family from that aspect and do
That's
all of
great.
that. So
Is
we will.
is she done with her course over here that she was doing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's been back just shy of a month now. So we are.
She
Yeah,
wow
we're-
you? Did she wow you with the knowledge and
Oh
everything?
my gosh.
Soaked
I
up.
I can't even keep up at this point. It's not even about flavors or anything anymore. It's what's the chemical composition of this, what and how do they do this and when did they rack and how do they do, and she's using all these words and I'm just like,
Oh,
this is great. Yeah, she's past tasting notes. She tastes the wine, she's like, oh wow, yeah, I really think during production that they transferred like tanks like 3 times on this one. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. That's
No.
really cool. Tell me more. Tell me more and show me pictures. So
Let me have a taste, right?
right? Oh, that's fantastic. That's really great.
So- so
That's
she-
exciting. So you'll be
Big experience.
surprising your grandparents. That's
Yes.
awesome.
Yes.
I love it. Love it.
Wait, Mama
Well-
Judy's already there?
Yep. So
Oh, nice.
yes. So her and my father are already up there, and they'll be picking us up from the airport when we fly in. Real hush hush. So.
Oh, they know, but your grandparents
yeah.
don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
they know, and both of my aunts know, but my grandparents don't know. So
Oh, how cute.
surprise. Yeah,
Oh,
it'll be
Well-
fun.
I gave your mom a pair of like elf shoes socks. So they're so cute. They're green like the Grinch, and they have the curly
Curly.
top with little bells on the top.
excellent.
And in fact, maybe in edit, I'll fly a picture in so you could see. The thing that's so funny about it is I gave them to her before they left, and every stop they make, she's doing like the elf on the shelf thing.
Mhm.
And she sends me a picture of just her feet, like by a fireplace. And then she's like, here we are in Montgomery, here we are, like all places.
Oh, that's
And
great.
So I have a
Yeah.
series of these pictures, and they're so funny. They're the cutest thing. So
Oh, that is.
I'm gonna
awesome.
have to share that. So she's been doing that. And I got the shirt. Great. Can you see it? Now my hand's over the thing.
Stitches, get stitches.
So
Totally
funny.
fixed.
It's the little beat up elf.
Yes.
Oh my God, he's got a shiner and everything. That's awesome.
Oh, that is so funny.
Shit, man. That is brilliant. Wow, I would definitely have stitches, wouldn't I? I'm always going, do you want to know what you got? Do you want to know what I got you? Do you want to know what you got?
Oh man.
Oh, man, I'm so glad that we got to catch up because I was just saying to my mom, I feel like it's been months since we've seen Tyler.
And it's only been 5 weeks, but it's felt like forever. And I've been having
exactly.
had
That's
this
the
one
thing.
planned for like 6 months, so I'm excited we got to.
Wow.
Oh, dang.
Yes,
That's what I like. That's prepared.
yes.
Right, Jay, we're always on the fly, and then we got this guy coming in showing us up, being all
Yeah.
prepared and
Oh,
everything.
no, I love winter cocktails, and they're so hard to like put onto a bar menu, in so many places because they're, if you go traditional winter cocktails, they're going to be creamy. They're going to have dairy. They're going to have too much sugars. They're going to have wine or anything. They're always a little funky because well, we're going into winter, need to preserve it somehow. I guess we'll throw some liquor in it.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
but I'm excited. I love the winter season. I love the cocktails that come with it, and I'm excited for next month's already. So
Are you?
Oh,
pretty much,
wow. Uh-oh.
Are you pretty much always at 8 and Sand, or are you still doing a couple Great Canaries?
so I'm pretty much full time 8 Sand now. They've given me almost entire creative control over that cocktail program.
Excellent.
Yes. So
That's
so
big.
I am
Nice
there pretty
jumbo.
much full time that I'm working, and then I'll do Canary if they have any major need for somebody to fill in or anything. But I love that team. I love working with them. This opportunity with 8 and Sand right now is awesome. We've got a great team. Oh, Cat. Oh, Cat. There it is.
Doing at my Christmas village. That's her thing.
Yeah. Gonna go lord over the small ones.
Yep. Look at her taking control of the
Yeah,
village.
right.
Oh,
Demon cat. I just saw somebody sent me a thing that said, if you have two cats, one will always be a beautiful idiot and another one will be a demon plotting a coup. And I'm like, yeah, Bruce is my beautiful idiot and Molly is my demon cat. Yep. Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
There she
Bruce
is.
is chill.
He is so chill, man. Like he's the easiest cat ever, honestly. I mean, he always has something wrong with him, but as far as personality, he's very easy, very easy to be around. And he's not the least bit skittish or scared of anything, where this one has been
Look at him.
The dramatic
Straight,
music
like he's
increases.
She's just staring at you. She's the one that
posing.
you feel that when you're sleeping and you feel like someone's staring at you, and you open your eyes and she's like right there. Like, oh my God, she could slit my throat at any moment. But she's acting like she doesn't know my parents, and yet they were here when we first got her. 'Cause she turned 2, and they were literally here like the 4th week that we had her, and she had no issues whatsoever. And now she's just like
Aw.
Don't touch me.
just completely acting like they don't know who they are. Come on, it's Grammy and Grandpa. Nope.
Oh,
She's still no.
she's waiting for the moment.
She's got a toy inside the hole on that tower, and she's just like,
So are you guys ready for Christmas? You have all your shopping done and all your gifts wrapped, and are you that person, Tyler? Just scared with the drink?
Yeah. I just bring
your
drinks.
little tree. I just noticed that your
Oh,
tree.
yeah. Yeah, we've got the little tree. It's a little 5-footer.
It's all you get when you got a cat.
Yeah.
You got one,
And Emily's only 4'10", so I like to get her something she can reach the top.
She can put the star on.
All right. Great.
That's awesome.
But yeah, we've got we have everything all ready to go. Again, I just bring alcohol. That's my contribution to every party.
I was gonna say, I'm sure it's expected at this point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
That's great. Well, I got
Emily's the gift giver, and she just wins Christmas every time, so I don't even try. She just gives to everybody.
my mom expressly flew. The parents are here just to wrap gifts. So tomorrow I'm planting her at the kitchen table, and she's gonna wrap gifts while I keep the cats away.
Oh.
That's the plan.
Make her some of the eggnog or the Marlini.
Oh yes.
I know. She just said, "Wait, you wanted them wrapped nicely, right?" So, this big wad.
Getting it. Just it's covered.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. I'm the worst rapper, so I'm happy to have any kind of help, because I'm basically muscling, the cats away and trying to do it all at the same time, and it's never pretty. I'll tell you that much. What's coming from me.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
the
would think
expert
you would
gift
be a
wrapper.
perfectionist. Are you kidding me?
You would think that. I used to match up the lines if there were stripes or
that's
something.
That would be what I expected, JD.
Yeah.
I used to be that person, but because I wait till the last minute to do it, usually I don't have the time to match it up. But yes, I was that person.
we
one-
had conversations, I think, on the old podcast,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
we would call you like on Christmas Eve, and you would be shopping on Christmas Eve, and it was like the year, every year the running gag was, let's call JD and see if she's in Target right now, and we would be like, bam!
And then after Target, I would hit the one very last place you could shop in Boca or in
7-Eleven.
anywhere in this area was the Walgreens, the 24-hour
It
Walgreens.
was one of those 7-Eleven or Walgreens.
But the
I got you this
what,
rose.
but the funny, yes, it was like shopping. They had that little toy aisle, and I was laughing because it was like, I said it was like shopping on the island of misfit toys from Rudolph, because nothing was really the thing. Like they had something that was like Barbie, but it wasn't Barbie.
Like,
Something that was like, the latest whatever, but it wasn't it. It was exactly that thing.
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of got known for getting Walgreens presents on Christmas Eve. The very last place a person could shop in this area.
I would usually would get, on the line of being panicked and not panic, and then I would just stand in front of that wall of gift certificates. They're getting Carrabba's, this one's getting an iTunes, this one's
right.
Yeah. Thoughtless.
Yeah, that takes the fun out of it. But that's what even the kids want now. All the kids in the family want gift cards. It's no fun to give that.
30 minutes is just not enough. It's that simple.
It's so true. It's so true. God, all I want for Christmas is a paid Zoom account. Well, we just wanted to come back and have a proper cheers and Merry Christmas.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank
And I
you
wanted-
for doing this month after month.
What is the name of the eggnog? Did you tell us?
I struggle. It's just George Washington's eggnog. I struggle to take any credit for it. It's a well-published recipe. I just like to throw all of my hodgepodge stuff, but it's just George Washington's good old 1700s eggnog.
Yeah, it should be called the 1700 for sure.
I think 1700 eggnog is
what do you got?
I've got Knob Creek bourbon.
There we go.
It was on the rocks, but they melted. So
me too. I had
off the rocks.
Shanky's Whip Vanilla whiskey, and you got this George Washington 1700 eggnog. Cheers, folks!
Cheers!
Yay.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas! Happy New Year! We will see you in the new year.
For sure. That's something exciting working for the new year. So
do you already?
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Thanks for having me again. I'll see you all soon.
Will do.
All right, thanks.
Bye. We drank way too much whiskey.
See? Like, never stop chasing your dreams.